Hey, welcome back to Mummy Mayhem. This video is about our little Charlie bear. I'll hand you over to Mel and she can update you on what's been going on in Charlie's life.
Hey, so this one gave us a little bit of a scare a couple of weeks ago, or was it a week ago? Obviously, due to his heart condition, we have to be a little bit careful and look out for signs of any untoward things happening. At one point we kind of was just putting his kind of like getting a little bit funny down to teething. But then on Sunday morning 2 weeks ago, he was really sweating a lot. Wasn't hot in the house. Everyone else was fine. He went very pale and very clammy. So we had to phone 111. We thought we'll just obviously phone them instead of taking him down just in case. Told us to go to A&E straight away within the hour. And it happened that we had to have an overnight stay to keep a check on his heart. They kind of put it down to more of a virus, but obviously he had to have an echo, make sure everything was going okay. And they've kind of said that there could be a possibility of problems with arrhythmia of the heart. So we need to obviously do a 24-hour tape on him. So he did give us a proper scare. Obviously, with my kind of anxiety and everything, I have been proper on edge the last few weeks actually, because he was unsettled, so I weren't sleeping very well. And I remember with the girls, I used to kind of get where I would be like, oh, I haven't heard from them for a little while, and I was scared to go see them because I was worried, obviously, going down and seeing something I didn't want to see. And I've been like that again with this one, horrendously a lot more. It's quite worrying, I think, because if I'd been putting a lot of it to the back of my head, like, you know,
yeah,
he's been
doing so well, and there hadn't been any sort of health problems with him at all.
No.
You know, because they weren't really sure what you know he'd be like, and then this little sort of bump in the road has brought it all back for you, hasn't it? And now you're sort of back at square one.
Yeah, I felt like I jinxed myself because only literally a few days beforehand I'd basically said he's been doing so well to a colleague at work, and then all of a sudden he wasn't, you know, very well, and we had to have him overnight. Luckily he's doing good at the moment. We've now got another appointment for a 24-hour tape to be attached, and then we have an appointment anyway with his cardiologist, which is just a normal one, so we'll see what happens then. So yeah, I mean, I think when you've got anything like that going on and you've put something towards the back of your mind for so long, when something like that comes, I think it just brings so much of like your anxieties back up again.
Yeah, it knocks you, doesn't it?
It does.
Charlie can't have your milk, darling.
No, you've got your own, but you didn't want it.
You have normal milk.
This one, yeah, you have still bottled milk. There we go. So so I mean, we're hopeful that everything is okay and there won't be any interventions so far, but until we've obviously been seen by the cardiologist and had the 24-hour tape, we won't really know 100%. But at the moment he's doing well. You're teething like a trooper. He's got now 4 teeth. So yeah, I kind of put it down to that a lot of the time.
Well, you do, don't you? It's so hard when you're a parent. You don't want to be rushing off to the doctors every 5 seconds because they cried or because they didn't sleep through the night. You know, and so as a parent, you kind of do rationalise things, and you're like, oh well, they're teething, so that's why they're acting this way, or are they going for a growth spurt, or they've got a virus or a bug, or you know, you do that. So it's hard. A lot harder for you, I feel, because when something is wrong with Charlie, it could just be one of those normal things, or it could be that there's something wrong with his heart, or you know, his body isn't coping. So I think
the worst bit was it was because of everything that he was showing was signs of, and they did say obviously of heart failure, and that's one thing
which
that
is something that is quite sort of, what's the word, you know, something that could happen with Charlie's condition. So yeah, so you do have to be on edge about it and really on
I
the
think
ball.
because if we put it to the back of our mind and he was doing so well, he's, you know, he's massive, weighs a ton. I think that was the case, and I think it kind of just brought everything a little bit more realer. That I think when I was in hospital I struggled a huge amount because I felt, obviously there was obviously other children in there crying, I felt quite alone, and I was thinking, what if, like, it does get to that stage. So I beat up Annalise. It does get to that stage.
No.
Like, how am I going to cope with obviously having to be there overnight, keeping an eye on him? It was bad enough just for one night. I think that was what was scaring me as well, thinking of seeing him go through anything. Hospitals are
always places of anxiety though anyway, aren't they? Because it just has that feel about it, doesn't it? Like, no one really wants to be there. It's not the most homeliest place, it's not the most comfortable place, you know. Obviously it doesn't need to be, that's not the purpose of a hospital. It's to do their job and, you know,
make sure everyone's well.
Yeah, exactly, which is fine, but it's just one of those places that no one really wants to be, and especially with, you know, your baby that might be severely poorly. It's just not something that you want to happen.
Don't get me wrong, I was, you know, grateful of everything they did, and they were, you know, on it so much. So,
yeah, we're
like,
lucky we've got a good hospital.
Yeah, but yeah, so thought I'd let you know on the updates. Obviously, once we have confirmation of how he gets on with his other cardiology appointments, let you know. Anyway, so we'll say bye-bye for now.
And as you can see, he's perfectly fine now.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's just a bit grumpy. He needs to go to bed.
Yeah.
Don't you? You need a nap.
So that's where we're going now.
Yes. So see you later.
Bye.